Dear Starseed from Gaia, what you almost did last year would have made you miss him completely and divine. Timing stopped you before your heart turned away. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and the reunion guides are speaking through me with a message meant for this exact moment. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to recognize your divine counterpart and why the delay protected your sacred connection. But here's the first revelation. What felt like rejection, confusion, or lost time may have been the universe preventing you from choosing a path that would have closed your heart to him. You didn't find this video by chance. Your twin flame journey led you here because the truth is ready to return. This isn't just a message, it's a moment of divine intervention. Like this transmission to affirm to the universe, my heart is ready for divine love. Comment: a leveling of, if you feel your heart awakening to divine truth. Your heart knows why you're here. What you just felt, that quiet ache mixed with recognition, is not sadness. It is your frequency remembering what it came here to receive. If this transmission stirred something you cannot name, the divine love frequency code was written for this exact moment in your journey. It contains 5 sacred Arcturian transmissions designed to dissolve the wounds blocking your divine counterpart and activate the signal that draws them closer. The link is in the first pinned comment, but it will only remain there for a short time. And now, stay with the feeling that rose inside you, because the truth is deeper than the moment you almost chose differently. What nearly happened last year was not simply a decision, a missed opportunity, or a relationship that could have taken another direction. It was a threshold. You were standing between the identity that had learned to survive without being fully seen, and the version of you capable of receiving a love that required your entire heart to become honest. It was as though you had reached the edge of a familiar forest, one you had walked through many times, and beyond the trees there was an open field filled with sunlight. The forest was known. You knew where to hide there. You knew which paths led to disappointment, and which shadows could protect you from being hurt. But the field required you to step into visibility. It required you to let the light touch the parts of you that had only ever known how to heal in secret. That is why the choice carried so much weight. The soul often recognizes the doorway before the conscious mind understands what is standing behind it. You may have called it confusion. You may have called it bad timing, emotional exhaustion, fear, or an inability to trust what was unfolding. But beneath those human words, something more delicate was taking place. An old pattern was asking whether you would repeat it one more time. Sometimes, the most important spiritual turning points do not feel dramatic while they are happening. They may look like a message you did not send, a truth you did not speak, a hand you did not reach for, or a boundary you finally allowed yourself to keep. Yet the unseen world notices these moments. Heaven does not only move through thunder and revelation, it also moves through the quiet instant when you choose not to betray the knowing inside your chest. Many souls believe they miss love because they fail to recognize the right person, but sometimes the deeper truth is that they recognize the person and then become frightened by what the connection awakens within them. A genuine soul connection does not only bring warmth, it brings visibility. It reveals the places where you have been performing strength, accepting half-love, anticipating abandonment, or making yourself smaller so that someone else would feel safe enough to stay. It can reveal the child who learned to listen for footsteps, the adult who became skilled at reading every change in tone, and the heart that decided it was safer to need nothing than to need someone who might leave. In the presence of real intimacy, these hidden agreements rise to the surface, not to shame you, but to be released. This is why divine love can feel both familiar and terrifying. Your heart remembers the frequency, but your emotional body may not yet know how to hold it. The mind says, protect yourself. The wounded part says, do not hope too much. The old identity says, choose what is predictable. And yet, somewhere beneath all of that, your deeper self knows that predictable pain is still pain, and familiar loneliness is not the same as peace. There is a difference between the quiet of peace and the quiet of emotional exile. One restores you. The other teaches you to disappear. One allows you to breathe deeply. The other keeps you alert for the next sign of rejection. Your healing begins when you stop calling survival wisdom and begin asking whether your defenses are still protecting you, or merely preventing you from being touched by what is good. The first sacred door opens when you stop confusing emotional intensity with divine confirmation. Not every longing is a soul contract, and not every delay is divine timing. The heart must become discerning. Divine love does not ask you to abandon your dignity, ignore another person's actions, or remain suspended in endless uncertainty. The higher frequency of love brings clarity, mutuality, and a deeper respect for truth. It may challenge you, but it does not require you to betray yourself. Scripture reminds us that love rejoices with the truth. Truth is not always comfortable, but it is clean. It does not force you to build a life around assumptions, crumbs, or imagined potential. If you must constantly convince yourself that someone cares, your spirit may be asking you to look not at the intensity of your hope, but at the evidence of their presence. This is the first key, the key of self-worth. Before you can meet love without losing yourself, you must release the belief that being chosen is what makes you valuable. The wound beneath many relationship patterns is not simply fear of rejection. It is the hidden assumption that rejection proves something about your worth. When that belief is active, you may chase unavailable people, over-explain your needs, accept inconsistency, or mistake a moment of attention for evidence that you have finally become lovable. You may give more than you have, forgive before anything has changed, and call the exhaustion devotion. You may think that if you become patient enough, beautiful enough, understanding enough, or spiritually evolved enough, another person will finally offer the love you have been trying to earn. But you were never waiting for another person to complete the value that was already alive within you. You were waiting to remember it. Place your hand over your heart and notice the part of you that has been trying to earn tenderness. Speak to it gently. Tell it that love is not a prize for perfect behavior. Love is not something you purchase through patience, sacrifice, silence, or endless understanding. You do not have to become easier to abandon in order to be easier to love. As this key turns, your energy changes. You no longer approach connection from hunger. You approach it from recognition. You begin to ask, does this person recognize the sacredness I am learning to recognize in myself? That question changes everything. The second key is the key of honest vulnerability. You cannot create sacred union while hiding behind the version of yourself you think will be easiest to love. This does not mean revealing everything to everyone. It means becoming truthful with yourself first. What do you actually desire? What behavior can no longer be accepted? What kind of presence makes your nervous system soften rather than contract? Where have you been saying, I am fine, because you were afraid that your truths might make someone leave? The truth you keep swallowing does not disappear. It settles into the body as tension, resentment, fatigue, or a quiet distance from your own life. Honest vulnerability allows the waters within you to become clear again. The heart does not open to pressure. It opens when it feels safe enough to stop pretending. Sometimes the person you almost lost was not being asked to save you. They were being offered the opportunity to meet the real you. And sometimes the relationship could not move forward because both people were still speaking through defenses. Vulnerability is not emotional exposure without discernment. It is the courage to let your life reflect what your soul knows, even when the outcome is uncertain. It may sound like saying, this matters to me, or I need consistency, or I cannot continue in a connection that leaves me guessing. These words may feel dangerous if you were taught that honesty causes abandonment, but the people meant to meet you in truth will not require you to remain hidden to keep them near. When this key turns, you stop using silence as a test. You stop waiting for someone to read what you are unwilling to express. You stop calling self-abandonment patience. You begin to understand that the right connection does not require you to become less clear in order to remain desirable. The third key is the key of karmic release. There are bonds that enter your life to awaken a lesson, not to become your permanent home. This does not make them meaningless. It makes them purposeful. Some people reveal where you are still seeking approval. Some reveal how deeply you fear abandonment. Others show you the cost of giving your entire heart to someone who only offers access in fragments. A karmic bond can feel like a song you have heard before, even when you cannot remember where. It may carry powerful attraction, repeating numbers, vivid dreams, and a sense that the connection must mean something, because it has touched such a deep place within you. But significance does not always mean permanence. Sometimes a person arrives as a mirror, showing you the wound so clearly that you can no longer pretend it is not there. When a connection ends, the mind often asks, how do I get them back? The deeper question is, what part of myself was activated through them, and am I ready to reclaim it? You may still love someone and choose not to return to the pattern that surrounded them. You may honor what was beautiful without reopening what was harmful. Releasing a karmic bond is not denying the connection. It is removing the agreement that says you must continue suffering in order to prove that your love was real. Imagine loosening an invisible thread from your chest, not with anger, not with revenge, with reverence. Thank the experience for what it revealed, and then return every expectation, fantasy, and unfinished conversation to the space from which it came. What belongs to you will remain as wisdom. What does not belong to you will lose its hold. You are allowed to bless a chapter without living inside it. You are allowed to remember someone without reopening the door. The fourth key is the key of discernment. The person you are meant to build with will not be identified only by chemistry. You will recognize them through the way reality responds to the connection. Do their words and actions move in the same direction? Can you speak honestly without being punished for having needs? Is there room for repair after misunderstanding? Does the relationship expand your life, or does it keep you trapped in constant interpretation? Chemistry can ignite the senses, but character sustains a home. A spiritual connection may begin with a powerful spark, yet its true nature is revealed in ordinary moments. How someone responds when you are tired, how they handle your boundaries, whether they make space for your dreams, and whether they can take responsibility without turning every conversation into a battlefield. The heart can feel a powerful pull towards someone and still need to observe. Spiritual awareness is not a reason to ignore evidence. In fact, the more awakened your heart becomes, the more capable you are of seeing clearly. You do not need to turn every coincidence into a promise. You do not need to decode every message, dream, or moment of synchronicity to justify staying attached. The love aligned with your highest path will not depend on you living in permanent confusion. This key brings peace because it gives your intuition a partner. Reality. Your intuition may sense potential, but your discernment watches whether that potential is being embodied. You can remain open without becoming available to everything. You can trust the soul and still honor the facts. The fifth key is the key of divine timing. Timing is not an excuse for passivity, and it is not a command to wait indefinitely. It is the recognition that inner readiness and outer circumstances must meet. Sometimes the person is not yet capable of offering what the connection requires. Sometimes you are still attached to an old version of love. Sometimes the door closes because you are being redirected toward a truth that could not reach you while you were standing in the wrong doorway. There are seasons when the seed is beneath the soil, unseen but not inactive. Yet a seed does not grow because someone stares at the ground and demands a flower. It grows through nourishment, patience, darkness, and proper conditions. Your life is also preparing beneath the surface. Last year may have carried a lesson about the difference between urgency and alignment. Urgency says, act now or lose everything. Alignment says, choose what is true, even if fear insists that you are running out of time. Divine timing does not punish you for needing space to heal. It does not demand that you make a permanent decision from a temporary emotional storm. It invites you to become so rooted in yourself that you can recognize love whether it arrives as a return, a new beginning, or the quiet freedom to stop waiting. The sixth key is the key of magnetic embodiment. You do not draw sacred partnership toward you by obsessing over when it will happen. You become available to it by living as the person who can sustain it. This means creating a life where love is not your only source of meaning. It means tending to your body, your home, your friendships, your creativity, your boundaries, and your relationship with stillness. It means becoming familiar with peace before asking another person to bring you there. Make your daily life a sanctuary rather than a waiting room. Let your mornings belong to your spirit. Let your choices reflect the future you say you desire. Your energetic signal is not created by repeating words you do not believe. It is created by the choices you make when no one is watching. Every time you leave what diminishes you, you strengthen the signal. Every time you tell the truth instead of performing indifference, you strengthen the signal. Every time you stop chasing what keeps retreating and begin nurturing what is reciprocal, you strengthen the signal. This is how your heart becomes magnetic, not by becoming more desirable to a particular person, but by becoming less willing to abandon itself for the possibility of being chosen. And the final key is the key of reunion readiness. Whether the person connected to the story returns or not, the true reunion must begin within you. There is a part of your own soul you separated from when you decided that love was dangerous, that desire was embarrassing, or that your tenderness made you weak. You may have sent that part away to protect yourself. Now it is coming home. When the inner masculine and feminine within you begin to cooperate, you no longer force and then wait. You act with courage and receive with softness. You set boundaries without closing your heart. You allow desire without closing your heart. You allow desire without making desire your master. You can miss someone without making their absence the center of your identity. You can love deeply without confusing love with pursuit. This is where the almost becomes sacred. You begin to understand that what you almost did last year was not only about him, it was about the self you were becoming in the presence of that possibility. The choice exposed a crossroads within you. One path would have led you back into an old form of protection, where you gave up truth to avoid disappointment. The other path asked you to remain awake, even if awakening meant facing the grief of what you could not control. You may still wonder whether one different action would have changed everything. Perhaps it would have changed the circumstances, but it would not have changed the deeper lesson. No relationship can be sustained by one person carrying the entire emotional field. No sacred union is created through fear, manipulation, or the desperate attempt to prevent someone from leaving. What is truly aligned will meet you in the field of mutual choice. Here is what your higher self wants you to remember. You did not come this far to be punished for the moments when fear took the lead. You are not disqualified because you hesitated. You are not unworthy because you made a choice from the wounds you were still learning to understand. The soul does not measure you by one moment. It watches how honestly you return to yourself afterward. The door is not closed because you were once afraid. The door opens each time you choose awareness over repetition. It opens when you stop rehearsing the past and begin embodying the love you want to experience. It opens when you no longer need a particular outcome to prove that your life is guided. It opens when you can say, I welcome what is mutual, clear, kind, and real. I release what requires me to disappear. Tonight, or whenever this message returns to you, place your hand over your heart and breathe slowly. Say, I forgive the version of me who chose from fear. I honor the love that awakened me. I am available for what meets me, with truth, reciprocity, and peace. Do not force yourself to believe every word immediately. Let the words become a direction. Let them show your nervous system that the future does not have to repeat the past. And if he is part of that future, the connection will not need to be held together by your anxiety. It will be strengthened by the healing both of you are willing to embody. If he is not, the love you awakened through him will not be wasted. It will become the compass that guides you toward a relationship where you do not have to beg for presence, translate silence, or wonder whether your heart is too much. You are not being asked to wait for a sign. You are being asked to become the sign to yourself that you are ready for a love that does not require self-betrayal. The almost was not the end of your story. It was the moment your soul showed you how close you were to choosing from an old identity and how powerful you become when you choose from remembrance instead. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real from your heart journey. Then respond to someone else's with encouragement or love. This isn't content, it's collective healing. Love multiplies when hearts connect. If something in this message resonated, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your life is waiting for this exact activation. Share it. And if you felt a soul nudge, subscribe. Stay in the flow of divine love guidance. You're not just watching, you're healing. This is your sacred space, and we're just getting started.